So, some updates for this week. Your girl got laid off. Your girl got laid off. And funny enough, I was talking to my friend about it. And I was saying, I'm like, just imagine. I said, I would rather be laid off in the morning. Like, I'm walking in and I try to use my badge and that shit don't work. That is fine. Because I have no problem getting back in my vehicle and bucking it back home. So, and I said, now, if you decide that having me work all day and then I'm trying to leave and then my badge gets flagged and securities has to stop me and then do the whole spiel like go to HR, no, because now you're messing with my time. Because one, it's after 4 o'clock. Why am I still here? I should be stepping out the door. Two, so I just go already and say this. They let me go after lunch. So I'm guessing they would have let me go before lunch, but I had already left, or I had already went out for lunch. And one of my coworkers came by to say goodbye, and he was like, yeah, they're going ahead already and making the cuts. And I was like, oh. So I said, oh, okay, and I asked him some questions. He's a master's degree, experienced accountant. Like, he good. It's me that I knew that I knew when he came to say goodbye that I was on the chopping block. Like, I already knew prior because I had filed a report at that same job. So I knew I wasn't going to stay long. And the company having financial... I'm not even going to quote that because they definitely were having financial performance issues. But that just gave them more reason to just, let your girl go. So that happened, and it happened right. I mean, when I tell you my ass didn't even hit the seat, and the man was like, hi, Markeisha, can I speak to you for a minute? I've never seen him in my life. Well, I think I've seen him in an ad. Whatever. But yeah, so as I'm walking with dude, I was like, listen, if this is what I think it is, can you just let me get my stuff now? I don't want to have to come back. And then everyone's like, oh my God. No, because I'm liable to cuss you out if you start looking at me like that, because I'm going to get pissed. No, don't do that. Don't make me feel... God, I love and hate this shirt. Because one, this shirt got holes in it, but two, no matter how many times I wash this shit, it's never back. It's never going to go back to a crew neck. This is forever where it is. But, sorry about that. But yeah, it's just... I was like, and then I had to look him in the face, and I was like, dude, you're not dealing with a hostile employee. Let me get my stuff so we don't gotta go back and forth. I'm trying to make this easier for the both of us. You get me? And he was just like, okay, because I think he was just so shocked that I was so calm, but they also didn't know that I was trying to leave already. So it just made it easier to where I did not have to pay back any relocation assistance that I was given. That's one. Two, I do have a really nice severance package, so I'm using that time to really focus more on my social media presence, so I can try to, bump my podcast up a little more, and be more on the side of like being able to create and be a parent. Like, my main goal, I thought the more decorated as the more educated you were, the easier your like because this isn't coming out right at all. I'm trying to say that it would be kind of like easier, parenting wise, if I had more education. I feel like when I just had a high school diploma, I had to work overtime. I had to, do whatever I can to make ends meet. So, like, the first year, my daughter's very first year, I worked 2 jobs and I barely seen homegirl. And it was it was hard for me. So, I think what I'm trying to do is make it to where I'm not only financially free, and even just not even, I'm just maintaining. Like, if I'm able to pay off, pay my bills, have some emergency on the side, and be able to give my kid a gift here and there, I'm straight. Like, I'm not looking to be a billionaire or, shoot, not even a millionaire while you playing. I'm just looking to do more than survive. Like, I want to live, and I want to be able to show my kids or explore things with my kids, explore different cultures and things like that. One of the things, like, I don't think I've ever said it, but Michaela, her goal in life is to move to Tokyo, Japan, and become an anime specialist. But she wants to work in animation. She'd love to work in Disney's creative area. I don't know any of these things. I'm in accounting. I'm an accountant, so I'm doing whatever I can as a parent to help her on that end. And if one day I get a chance to get her a trip to Tokyo, Japan, because she wants to see where anime started, and she wants to see, like, the history of it. Like, she wants to learn everything she can about it. And I just told her that I knew that a lot of her favorite shows, a lot of the characters that she has based her drawings on were these were created in Tokyo, Japan. And so now she just has this thing in her head, like, she has to get there and she has to make it. And I mean, there's even been points where I'm trying to figure out a trajectory to where we can move there. Because my son is also into, like, building and things like that. And I think if he takes the whole aspects of Legos, like all the things that you could do with Legos, like, I think if he applies that to something, it can turn into something more. I don't know. I don't know. I'm one of those people that I've always, I can see you throw something in the trash can with a little bit of flip of a wrist, and I'm gonna find basketball camps for you that is affordable or that works for you, because I'm one of those people that have always thought to nurture people's skills, talents. I mean, even if it's the smallest thing. Like, my friend, she's an artist, and I have one of her drawings on my back. One of her drawings is one of my tattoos, and actually, I think two of them is, but the second one she never finished. So it's supposed to be an M&M, the green one. And funny enough, growing up, I was definitely the brown M&M. But funny enough, didn't the brown M&M, it was not always a girl. I could have sworn the brown M&M used to be like the yellow one. Like, the yellow one was ditzy too, but I could have sworn the brown was the other ditzy one. But now they have the brown one with the glasses. She's very smart, and she pulls them. And the green one, she's kind of just like the Marilyn Monroe, I guess, of the M&Ms. Can't believe I just compared Eminem to Marilyn Monroe. But let's get into the episode. I got fired. Oh, well, I didn't get fired. I got laid off. Because my people are going to say I got fired, and I don't, and that was the thing when I was explaining to my kids that I was going to be home a little bit more, for like a month or so, and like don't get used to it or nothing. My son was like, "So you're fired," and I was like, "I got laid off," meaning that my position was dissolved, and that means that they no longer needed my position. And he's like, "But so you're not working? Like you don't have a job?" And I was just like, okay, you don't gotta say it like that. But yeah, pretty much. He was like, oh, I just need to know. He's 8. So, yeah. Anyways, so with that being said, I had a little bit more time to be watching TV and stuff, which I did. And this time, oh, that was the other thing. I left all my show notes on my laptop, my job laptop, and I keep trying to think if I ever typed up something about how much I hate that job, and I hope I didn't. I mean, it doesn't matter now, but if I did, ooh, awkward. But I remember I tried to send the link to myself, and it did not send the link. So everything that I've watched, some of the reviews that I've already done, my icebreakers that I usually have, that I'm trying to like put in at the top of every episode or at the end of every episode, depending on how I feel or how this goes. Yeah, I ain't got it. None of it. I was so upset. Like, that was my only thing. It was like, if I had better notice, then this wouldn't even be that deep for me. And that's what I was saying. Like, my friend was like, nah, fire me at the end of the day. And I was like, and I think it's because she get paid hourly and I get paid salary. So me staying all day or not staying all day, it does not matter. I get paid the same. Her, it does. So I guess that's the difference in me, because I was like, no, you fire me at lunch or at the end of the day, I'm gonna be fucking pissed because you knew all day. And that was the thing. Like, my manager definitely knew, because he didn't speak to me that day really. He walked past me a few times and did not say a word, and I was like, yep, it's gonna be me. It's gonna be me. But on to the next. Okay? Quite honestly, I couldn't even be mad. And keep it a buck. I couldn't be mad, not for the simple fact that, yeah, I got laid off in the middle of the day, and y'all pulled me all the way across country just to, let me go. That's wild, and I have 2 kids, so it's like, why did you do that? But then I got accepted into grad school literally like 2 days prior to me getting laid off. So like, the high from that is outweighing my depression, I think. And I'm so focused on making sure that I am like OD in my grad classes, that I could care less. All I thought about was like, well, at least this will be easier for me to go to school in the first semester, because I'm on a kind of a probationary period anyways for the first semester. So yeah, it really did not bother me much at all that this was what was the case. I was just like, okay. It was just annoying because like, I had a meeting on Monday with these people, and not only that, I made that report, so I don't know what's gonna end up happening, because when they have an update, they reach out to my work email. How are they gonna reach out to my work email? So with that being said, when I don't hear nothing, they're going to hear something from someone else. And I'm just going to leave it at that, and I cannot speak no more about it. But yeah, I think I have more free time. Jesus Christ, my nose. Okay. So, two things. I would hope that you guys comment or send an email to me, basically telling me what you guys are watching or on TV, or what movies you're waiting on, or what's one of your favorite movies, and what if you want me to review or talk about it. I want to kind of do this like I said, on a weekly, sometimes bi-weekly, not bi-weekly, but drop 2 episodes a week type, a little something. I mean, I ain't got nothing else to do. But today I'm a little late, but I am watching The Other Black Girl on Hulu. It was released this year. It's a TV series and it's a thriller. It has some familiar faces. One being, one of the main characters is homegirl from Riverdale. It's Josie from Riverdale. And then the other one, she was the first lady on Scandal. But I forgot her name. But yeah, there's some familiar faces, and it is on Hulu. You do have to have a subscription or whatever. I would recommend getting the Disney Plus bundle. Right now I'm one of those stupid people that pay for Disney Plus and Hulu separately. Yeah, and the bundle, I believe, is like $2 cheaper. So yeah, don't be dumb. Don't be me. Bundle that shit. So anyways, let's get into the review. I decided I'm not gonna binge. I might binge though, because after watching episode 1, I was like, oh god, I knew it. This is what it is. I need to know about this. Because okay, I don't know about you guys, but one thing I like to do is I like to do this thing where either I watch the opening scene and then I'll pause it and try to anyways, I like to do this thing where either after the opening scene or the first episode, I like to try to analyze or see how it's all gonna play out. One of them, so I'll let y'all know of my predictions at the end of this. So I might end up watching the rest of this series, and then I'll just try to give a new episode, give a new review every day or every other day, depending on how it is. Because your girl is actually still interviewing as well, or setting up interviews, because let's be honest, okay? So yeah, it's a TV series on Hulu. It's called The Other Black Girl. I did not get the names of the people starring in it, but I will go. The main character is Nella. She's working at a publishing firm called Wagner Books. The opening scene for season 1, episode 1 is in New York City, 1988, and the woman is leaving Wagner Books. She looks frantic, distraught, anxious, and she's kind of tripping just a little bit. And she keeps, one thing I noticed at the beginning, and like I said, I like to notice things like this, because I like to put a pin in it, because they kind of it's a reoccurring theme. I took art appreciation and I believe film appreciation, so I feel like I'd be knowing my shit. It was this one class. But so like I made a note of that because I feel like she kept scratching her head, and it's like, for one, we've always been taught to pat your head, for one. Two, why does she keep scratching? It's like almost like a nervous tick. And yeah, so she went into the elevator and she was leaving the building, I guess, at this time, and she went to the train. Weirdly enough, she's, like I said, she's tripping. She kind of like frantic, on edge. And like it kind of seemed like she was the only one on the plane, Jesus, she was the only one on the train, I believe. And yeah, she like kept scratching her head, and that's why I said I wrote the note down at that point because that was a little suspicious to me. So she was scratching so much, like she looked at her hands and there was like blood on her hands. She looks back up and she's surrounded by white people, like the white people that were sitting on the train, and she like screams or whatever, and then it flashes to present day. I'm guessing like literally current year or 2020, yeah, that present day. And she has AirPods in, the main character, which we later find out her name is Nella. And she arrives to Wagner Books, and she straightens the picture of the woman who was in the first scene. So I guess the woman's name, she was like she was literally one of the only women, but she was definitely the only black person on this wall. So I guess she was the only editor, the only black woman as an editor ever at this Wagner Books. And Nella is an assistant here at Wagner Books. And let's see, she is the only black girl working there currently. And it shows because a white woman, Sophia, that she works with, I guess sent her a piece about being black in an all-white workspace. And it was like, I look like, girl, what? But yeah, I guess she sent it and was like, like, I think it's just great. I want your opinions. And so she pulls it out. She's like, you want my opinions from something you just sent me 30 seconds ago? She's like, yeah, you should probably read it, like, now. I would have said, no, can you move around for a second? Like, but, I guess she was saying, like, she wanted her to read it and give her opinions and facts on it so she can be a better ally to her. And I was like, oh my God. I don't know. I just feel like, is that how I sound when I'm saying, like, when I'm trying to be more, what's the word? When I'm trying to be more, a better ally to the LGBTQIA plus. A plus. So, yeah, because I don't know, that's awkward. But yeah, so she walks away, or whatnot, and I guess like the computer goes out, and at some point Nella realizes that she's being recorded, which is understandable. I've even heard after the pandemic, and especially like with the rise of social media, people being terrible gatekeepers by letting, actively letting people know that they're doing any and everything but working at their work from home job. Y'all gotta stop that. I'm trying to get a work from home job. Y'all making it real hard. I just want y'all to know that. Stop going on live with your computer in the cart at Target. Stop that. So anyways, the woman's name is Mrs. Phillips. I forgot her first name, but that was the woman from 1988 in the first scene. She popped up on her on the blank screen reflection, not like as clear as I am, but like you see your shape and you see you, but it wasn't her. It was the woman. And then it screamed, and then the computer came back on. So, one of the girls is leaving, and she's being replaced. She ends up being replaced by a black girl, Hazel. She is going to be Maisie's new assistant, and she's the new black girl. She's from Harlem. She went to Howard, and Nella's from Connecticut, and she went to a PWI. And they get to talking because Maisie, the woman, Hazel's boss, was telling her that that Nella would be showing her the ropes and things like that. Especially considering that Vera, Nella's boss, was talking about giving her a promotion. But yeah, so they clicked, and you can tell that there was a slight tension with Maisie feeling a little uncomfortable that these two black women were clicking. So, yeah. One thing I wrote down and I pointed out was that Nella's boyfriend is white. But he was pretty excited for her to have a black coworker. I feel like it's like he needed that. I mean, like she needs that. Like she needs more of her community. And for her man to notice that, I think I don't know, I almost feel like that's commendable. Because one thing, I'm not going to speak too much about interracial couples, but I feel like you tripping if you don't think people need their own space with their own people at some point. And it doesn't have to just be family. Like for them to have friends of your own race and as well as outside of your race. It's not, but to have some type of dialogue or of things. Like there's some conversations that just cannot be easily digested in an interracial relationship. So it's nice to have, I guess, someone nearby that looks like you and that are, that you guys align. And I don't know, I always I like seeing those type of relationships in general, like when your partner wants to see you thrive in all aspects of your life, not just say in your career or just say like in your family, but in all aspects. So they celebrated this. So she like literally went out for drinks with her boyfriend and another friend of hers for celebrating a new black employee. Like, and homegirl wasn't even there, but valid. So like I said, Vera is considering Nella for a promotion, but she has Nella has negative reviews about a book that one of their best-selling authors is talking about releasing. The author in question is Kevin from The Office. I'm not gonna sit here and say that man has not had more roles, but when I seen him, I was like, holy shit, Kevin from The Office? Look at that. He's an author now. But yeah, I guess he wrote, it was basically it was a book with hella harmful stereotypes. And that's basically that was her opinion, and that's what she was voicing to her boss. But the boss was like, listen, no, you need to say that you like it. You need to say that it's great and all these things because, like, I mean, this promotion is low key on the line, and like, the book is done. Like, it's ready to be released. So you gotta like it, pretty much. Like, or budgets. So, so she's at a dilemma right now. Because she does not, because it is. I mean, the girl don't know her baby daddy. First off, she got a baby daddy. She don't got not one sober friend. Like, all her friends cracked out. Apparently, she can't, like, either she can't read or something. She dropped out. Like, it was, if you can think of every single stereotype, the one character is all of them. So, yeah, I could kind of understand, like, it wasn't cool. Like, it's a good book, but, like, I mean, damn, can she at least know who her baby daddy is? It's crazy. So, yeah, so at this point, when she sits down because of that, she do like a sigh or whatever, and she's kind of like aggravated a bit. And Hazel turns around because that's like they share cubicles, low key. And she turns around, she's like, "Oh, I know that sound. Like, what's up? What's going on? Spill tea." And she goes to explain about the book and everything, and how she does not want to, lie or anything, but she does not want to be put on the line. Like, she doesn't want to be put at risk, her job. So, so they're talking about it, and the thing is they also have this time where they go out to lunch, like right before they're talking, right before Hazel meets the owner or the CEO of Wagner Books, which is Richard Wagner. He came down to meet her personally, child. But before that, they went out for lunch or whatever, and they were talking about a book, and it was like their favorite book. Both of them had the same favorite book. Hazel says she was dealing with somewhat the same thing in Boston, which historically, Boston is known to be kind of a more not so pleasant for black people. So Nella could understand, like, oh, so she definitely knows what I'm going through. So it's like they're having a connection. But it's like, I'm looking at it like as everything is seeming a little too much. And it's stuff like that kind of reminds, like, that's the type of things that reminds me of this one issue, like this one issue I had with a girl at this previous job. Like, I had went on a hike, and my first hike ever, and it was only like 400 feet elevation, but mind you, we're already elevated by, like, I don't know, like 500 feet or 5,000 feet. So then add like a few hundred more. But yeah, she had an attitude because, like, I couldn't complete it. It was like 4 or 5 miles, and yeah, I couldn't do it. And I was telling them I would wait here by the water and wait for them to come back down because the kids still wanted to go. And she was just like, no, we have to go. And she literally did not talk to me from the way down all the way back home. And I was like, oh, no, absolutely not. Because I'm too old. We are too old to allow someone to make you feel uncomfortable or small more than once. Like, once she said that, once she did all that, I tried to, like, make it work a little more, like, like, let's just not try to hike, but let's just try to, try to be friends. Like, let's just try to hang out. No, absolutely not. Because then I got sick, or no, yeah, I was cramping. Like a month later, she asked for me to go somewhere, some park thing, and I was like, oh, I won't be able to go. Like, I'm working late. No response. Girl, that's right. Goodbye. Because you know what? Oh my God. People have lives. People do things. People got other things to do. Situations happen. Like, I was so confused. So yeah, I don't even want to talk about that. But yeah, so what I'm basically saying is, like, everything was clicking, but in my opinion, I was like, nah, this shit too smooth. This seemed kind of weird, and because of not only that situation that I just went through, but prior situations, like, of trying to be friends with work friends outside of work, and it not working out, or things getting back to your boss when they're not happy, or you take a day off and they're not happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, it'd be too much. And so, like, I've always been on my toes about work people. So when she complains about, when she told the negative comments to Hazel, I just knew right then and there. I'm like, nah, no, because she was too eager to want to know, like, why. Well, what was you so upset for? Like, oh, I want to know, or I love to hate read, girl. And I would have just said, no, I mean, the book will be out in a little bit, so I don't want to send it over and then, like, or just have Maisie give it to you. Like, I just still be on my P's and Q's, whether we look alike or not, because I've been burnt too many times. That's just me. But yeah, so when she complained and she told her, like, I'm basically being told to not say any of these negative comments, Hazel encouraged her, saying, like, oh, no, you give those negative reviews, and you know what? I'll back you up. That right there. Absolutely not. She lied. It's day one. No, I don't know you. So, they're having a quick celebration about the book. And, the author comes out. And I'm so sorry. I did not get the man's name, because I was so stuck on the fact that it was Kevin. I want to say his name was Carl. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they'll bring it up in the second episode, but yeah, Kevin from The Office, they were coming by and they were talking to Nella, and but then Hazel comes up too, and they were having the conversation, and Nella finally just goes, I don't know exactly how the situation goes, but somehow Hazel puts Nella on the spot and was like, yeah, I read it, but I hear Nella had some thoughts that she had earlier, and that right there would have told me, I would have just said it was great. Because because she didn't want to say anything. And she waited until Nella said all the negative comments. Like, she just went in on it. And Hazel said the exact opposite. She was like, I thought it was great. I thought she liked the book. It was a different sometimes we need a character like this. It was something fresh and different. Um, and then Hazel was asked, can she do an editorial on the book, while Nella was told to come into my office. And that's where the title comes in for me, The Other Black Girl, because it's like, oh, she one of those. If you know, you know. If you don't, oh well, you might be the other. So, but yeah, Nella gets an anonymous note saying leave Wagner now, and things get weird again. And all of a sudden, she sees Mrs. Phillips, Kendra Phillips' reflection again, and this time it's like in the elevator, I believe. So, two things. Without looking at the rest of the series, two things. At the beginning, there was another black girl. She was in a black hoodie, and it looked like she was just getting ready to follow Nella. But then she went another route and took the security code. Now, they didn't show anything of what she was doing, where she was going, or anything. So here's my theory. Now, I don't want y'all spoiling it for me in the comments, please. I'm serious. So the thing is I was looking at it as the girl in the hoodie, or Hazel, left a note, right? If the girl in the hoodie left a note, she's warning Nella to leave, so the same thing that happened to her, the girl in the hoodie, in Boston won't happen to Nella here in New York City. Or Hazel is warning her to leave because she's the token black girl and there can only be one, you know? But my only thing about this is, like, what does Kendra Phillips have to do with it? I'm assuming that she is the motivation for the both of them working there, but it also seemed like Kendra Phillips went through something very traumatic. She was only the editor for 1 year, which doesn't make sense. Maybe it happened to her, and that's why. But then who would have been the other black? It wouldn't have been a black girl that she was replaced with. It would have been a white man, most likely. 1988. So, and it's like, why was she only editor for a year? And I'm assuming it has to do with whatever she was going through, because she seemed like she was anxious. She was on edge. She was scratching her head so hard that it was like she was bleeding. So, like, I don't know. I do recommend it. Again, it's called The Other Black Girl. It's on Hulu. It has a couple of stars on there. Some pretty good people that we already know, that we've seen in some other pretty good series. We're not going to even speak about how Riverdale ended, but, you know, Josie from Riverdale is on there. The First Lady from Scandal, she's on there. Yeah, I forgot who this, I could have sworn the friend is from Abbott Elementary, but I'm not 100% sure. But either way, I would say watch it. If you haven't watched it, you should watch it, and we can all discuss it in the comments here. If you have watched it, don't spoil it just yet, but tell me, you know, if it's gonna be worth it, or like if it's gonna be like, oh, a typical ending, or if you're gonna be like, oh, the ending is crazy. Just let me know. Also, one of my icebreakers, I guess, for the end of the show this time is, are you an early bird or are you a night owl? If so, or which one and why? Let me know in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, I will see y'all soon because I ain't got nothing but time now. See you later.